Good morning, friends. It's Saturday. What a week. So happy it's the weekend. I really love this challenge, and I just want to thank everybody for participating. Just a small note to something to put in your calendars or set a reminder on your phone for yourself. We had such a cool session last night. Chris, who's in this group, he's in one of the cohorts, led his Friday night program. He offers it every week. It's at 8:30 p.m. Eastern. Chris is just one of my favorite meditation instructors that I've come across and worked with over the last couple of years. Really incredibly thoughtful guy. His practice has really transformed his life in a positive way. I loved last night. I've not been able to consistently get there on Friday nights, but I'm making a personal commitment that I'm going to be there moving forward because it really just capped off a long week really well for me. So, Chris, thank you for that. My friends, I hope you'll join us next Friday at 8:30 Eastern. Really excellent session. I want to talk a little bit today about stretching ourselves. We talked very intentionally in day 1 and 2 about setting tiny habits, tiny goals, right? That our motivation was going to be very high when we started the challenge, and then as the week went on, we were going to lose some of that over the course of it. And this is incredibly natural, right? We've done dozens of these 10-day challenges. I can see it in the open rates of the emails. I can see it in the responses we get, and I see it in myself. I start to peter out and lose a little bit of energy towards the end of the 10 days. One of the things that I like to do in my personal practice is I usually pick 2 days, and it alternates between Saturday and Sunday, but I'll just for the clarity of this, I'll just give one. I pick one day to stretch a little bit and one day to rest. Right? And this comes from the 5 years I trained as a student at a Zen Buddhist monastery, where we'd have periods of time where we would amplify or kind of expand our practice a little bit. And then some periods of time we'd let that be a little bit more normal and everyday practice. This actually goes all the way back to the time of the Buddha. He lived in India 2,500 years ago, and they had rainy seasons. In the monsoon season, it was nearly impossible to do anything. So these monks who used to travel around and offer their teachings and collect a little bit of food or alms in exchange for that were really hunkered down for these rainy periods. So this Ango, this period of intensive training, was their chance to kind of go into retreat and practice a little bit more deeply, so that when the rains parted and went away and the sun returned, they could go back out to the community and they had a little something extra to share. My personal life, I think about this a touch as in my body practice. I have lower back issues. I used to see a chiropractor regularly. I would stretch every single day before and after my meditation practice, and I could barely touch my toes, just with the tips of my fingers. When I would go to the chiropractor, she would spend 20 minutes athletically stretching me out, leaning into each stretch, bending me and pulling me in every direction. And for the next couple of days, I could practically put my palms on the ground, right? And I needed that little concentrated period of time doing more stretching than I would do with myself, with a little bit of an assistance of a friend. So I think of my meditation practice the same way. So a typical week looks like, for me, I have a pretty stable practice: Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, right? It's, I wake up, I go to work at the same time, and my alarm goes off at the same time. My practice is going to be pretty consistent. I need one down day on the weekend. I still try to meditate, either as much as I do on a weekday or maybe a little bit less. Sometimes I take the entire day off. This isn't too bad of a thing either. But then I need one day where I stretch my practice a little bit. And I experience the growth that comes with that. So, my recommendation for today or tomorrow, you can manage your weekend however is best for you. Tomorrow we're going to talk about rest. But today, let's talk about stretching ourselves a little bit. So I got all of the goals. There's a lot of meditation goals, a lot of walking and exercising goals, a lot of yoga practice goals or creativity, some really just great stuff. For me, my 3 goals are meditating, doing 100 push-ups, and eating one salad. So my stretch, I sat about 50% longer than I normally do this morning. I will do 200 push-ups today, and I'm going to have 3 healthy meals instead of just one today. I'm really going to push myself to have kind of a perfect diet day. So I'd love to hear, you can pick one of your 3. It doesn't have to be a stretch in all 3, but I'd love for you to share with your cohort today what area you're stretching yourself just a little bit. As always, we're going to check in. How are we doing on those 3 goals? I hit everything yesterday. Thank you, everybody. It's really been a great week for me. It's because of the encouragement of this group. Share your gratitude list, and again, for all the reasons. And since we're talking about stretching, maybe today is a day we can do 2 kindnesses for somebody instead of just one. So I'm going to find 2 friends. I really got a lot of joy out of yesterday's practice of, or was it the day before? I guess it was the day before. Of sharing with a friend how much he meant to me. So I'm going to find 2 friends and kind of extend some words of gratitude for that friendship. So that's our goal for today. Day 9 of our challenge. It's been a great week. Thank you, everybody.